How are you? Good morning. Moving my mic and I hope, see, moved my thingamajig on Instagram. How are you guys doing? Good to see you. It's Wednesday. Come on in. We are live here every Monday through Friday. And we talk about insulin resistance, and we do it at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And this is what we've been doing, you guys, for like almost 2 years. So aren't we crazy? Aren't we crazy? I'm just telling you. But the more you know, the longer you will be consistent with your journey. And then you're going to get the actual results that you were looking for. Like, who knew? How are you guys doing? I would love to know how your week is. I love the middle of the week. It's kind of like a really good assessing point. And remember how I kind of share with you guys, the best gift that you can give yourself is to assess yourself. Like, I was so disconnected from my own body and my own health and my own journey. And if you can get back to just assessing yourself, it's like, man, you can actually go places and have a completely different future when it comes to your health. So, okay. Blah, blah, blah. Let's do some housekeeping. Monday, we start the 31st free 5-day challenge in the group Ditch Insulin Resistance for Women. Don't miss out, you guys. It really is such a great way for you to have a track to run on, have a path, have a journey, lock arms with somebody who will actually walk journey with you and help you figure this out so that you can be like the testimony that I posted yesterday, that she was like, I've lost 30 pounds since April and my A1C is so low now that I'm not pre-diabetic anymore. Like, hello, does anybody want that? Right? So here we go. This is what we talk about every single day, because when your insulin is high and your liver is sluggish, you can't burn fat. So that's why we do this. But then it's that whole component of the meds that you guys have gotten off of, fibro and IBS and omeprazole and met and anti-sadness and anti-anxiousness and high BP, and the list goes on. And you guys have all done this over the last 2.5 years since we started the group. This is what you guys have done. You've lost hundreds and hundreds of inches off of your trunk. You've lost hundreds of pounds. You've lost you've been able to maybe delete some appointments on your calendar. Praise God, right? So Patty, good to see you. Sweet lady Patty. Patty, how much have you lost so far? I would like to remember. I was looking at a webinar. By the way, I did this webinar in October on just ancillary supplementation to the total body reset. And I remember talking about your testimony in there. And at that time you had lost 7 pounds and it was a month in. And so anyway, but today, the gallbladder insulin link that nobody told you about. And this is like a game changer. And this doesn't matter if you have your gallbladder, if you don't have your gallbladder. 17 pounds. Okay, Patty, yay. Okay, not 7 anymore, 17. That makes me happy. Okay, so a lot of you have lost your gallbladder and you're like, well, okay, if fat loss is harder now because I've lost my gallbladder, which maybe that's news to you. Maybe you're just hearing that for the first time. I'll explain to you why that is. Or if you still have your gallbladder, but you're just super sluggish, nothing's moving and you can't lose fat and you can't figure it out. Well, let's talk about it today. So here we go. Here we go. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I will check back. Good morning, Sue. Good to see you. Good to have you here. I know this is the holidays, and people are very busy, and I get that. If you're on the replay, by the way, tell me you're on the replay. And if you ever need to see some of my replays more easily, go to the Tuberuni channel. That is my same name, Kirsten Liebelt. And the replays are up there. I can't take credit. My husband edited 2 of the recipes that we had done in the group. One was for the savory keto chow Chex mix, and one was for the sweet muddy buddies. No, those were both in one 15-minute video. I show you both of those. That's on my Tuberuni channel now. And the other one is the Mexican, the refried beans, Maria Emmerich's. If you're a Mexican person, Like, you like Mexican food, person? So good, really good. So those two are up there, but there is also all the replays are there from when we stream live like this. So there you go. I know, Tubaruni. You got to be very creative, Ruthie, when you are on TikTok. My goal every day, I only have one goal when every day that I'm live on TikTok. The goal is not to get a violation. It's my number one goal. If we get through and we don't have a V over there, I'm so happy, because the bots are insane over there. So we play games. Anyway, okay, here we go. All right. So the whole gallbladder conversation. Now, you guys, this is like, it's so frustrating because you don't even know, like, you've lost your gallbladder and maybe nobody even then told you that now it's really hard to lose fat. And you're walking around going, what's wrong with me? And why can't I lose weight? And I just look at food and I gain weight and blah, 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 blah. The other people are on the other side going, but I haven't lost my gallbladder. Why am I having such a hard time? And you don't even realize how sluggish everything is, how, whatever. But if you can grasp this today, if just today you can grasp this, I am telling you, you can have a completely different thought process towards your December, towards how you actually walk into January. My goal for you right now is that you won't throw the towel in on December, that you will not completely give up. Many, many of you are already on the total body reset. That's fantastic. I am so happy you're already on it. You're already doing it, right? Like, don't stop now. Right? Especially because you're going to get that extra little $50 bonus in January. So don't stop now. But for somebody else, you're like, you know what? Maybe I'll just start in January. Well, that's too late. It's usually too late. You can make strides right now and not hate yourself come December 26th, 28th, 31st. You don't have to give up everything right now and then feel like trash. Listen, I remember very, very well. And this is that whole gallbladder conversation. Like, if your gallbladder is not working right and you are sluggish and you have all these, I just feel like I'm going to sneeze. So I apologize. Every day this happens to me. I think it's the light from my window. It's like, no, I feel like Tabitha on Bewitched, like my nose. But anyway, you go through the holidays and you have all of these thoughts in your head of, you're going to get to spend time with family and you're going to spend time eating good food. And maybe you're going to go do, like, lights. You're going to drive around. You're going to see the lights, or you're going to go out to dinner with friends. Like, that's what I love. Let's go out to dinner. Let's go do something. Right. And you spend the whole time just feeling trashy, like constipated. I remember holidays being so constipated. I mean, I know we don't like to talk about that online, but this is the reality, because now all of a sudden you're eating more food, and you're eating more food that's not normal for your system. So your gut goes, excuse me, and you might not have everything in place to actually help function. So your gallbladder is literally your green light for fat burning. If you don't have it, do not lose hope. I'm going to explain that too, right? So think of your metabolism like a really busy intersection. Okay. The gallbladder is the traffic light that tells your body, okay, release bile. We're switching to fat burning mode. Who knew that? Like, nobody taught me that. Did we even learn that in high school science? Did we ever learn any of this? I don't think we did. When your bile is flowing properly, your fat digestion works, your vitamins absorb, especially A, D, E, and K, your hormones stabilize, your insulin gets a break. Such a big conversation. So important. And your energy switches from glucose to fat. Okay, so now you're not just relying on burning glucose for fuel. You can burn fat for fuel. That's the green light. When your gallbladder is sluggish or you don't have one anymore, your body stays at a red light. So you're like stuck at this red light, and nobody explains the problem this way, I don't think. This is just me in my head, right? When bile is thick or slow, or you don't have a gallbladder at all, your metabolism never gets the green light. I know I'm a broken record, but this is simple conversation, right? That's why every day we talk about the liver, the gut, and insulin. the liver, the gut, and insulin, because it's the same answer every time. The answer doesn't change because God made our body to function a certain way. So the answer doesn't change. Your body stays at a red light and your insulin stays elevated because it thinks that you're still processing food. Did anybody just get like an aha moment? Your body still thinks that it's processing food, so your insulin stays high. What happens when your insulin stays high? What can't you do when your insulin is high? You can't burn fat. So you're over here beating yourself up. You're thinking that you are the lamest loser ever on the face of the planet because you can't lose a pound and you must just be a loser. And well, you've never been able to lose weight before. And look at all the diets you've tried and, whatever. And you've got character flaws. You keep thinking, I have character flaws. Susan, good morning. Susan says, I love listening to you. I love that you're here listening to me, Susan. But you think that you're lame. You think that you have all these character flaws because you just can't get it under control, people. Because maybe somebody has shamed you like that in the past. But let's just go back to biology. Your body stays at a red light when your bile is thick or slow, or you don't have a gallbladder at all. And your insulin is staying elevated because it thinks that you're still processing food. And when your insulin is high, you can't burn fat. So does that have anything to do with a character flaw in you? No. So let's deal with the sluggish liver. Let's deal with the bile conversation. Let's get that insulin down. Okay. Let's do that. So this means that, so when you're standing at your red light and you just can't move because your insulin is elevated because your body still thinks you're processing food, you store more fat. You never fully transition into fat burning. Sad day. You feel heavy or inflamed after meals, especially during the holidays, and you crave carbs because fats aren't being absorbed. So again, your cravings that are out of control, it's not a character flaw. It's not because you're just some lame addicted to sugar person. Like I was the total sugar addict. So I speak from experience. I was very experienced. I had a degree in sugar addiction. That was my degree. I had a master's, I'm pretty sure, maybe a doctorate. But anyway, I'm just telling you, this is a whole new way to understand. So what can we do about it? That's the question. Let me see who's chatting with me. Good morning, Joan. Peggy from Pennsylvania. Marilyn from New York. Barb from Canada. You guys are awesome. Is plant-based protein good or bad for the kidney? That's a very specific question. So I would say that I do not teach plant-based protein for insulin resistance. But I would not give you a nephrologist answer. So that's something that you should look up. And I do think that in fact, I can look it up for you right here. Let's see. Hold on. I mean, I know what my opinion is, but I want to give you something a little more substantial. In short, no. No. But I will tell you this, if you're going to do anything like that, so I teach, how do I say this? Okay. Plant-based is totally good. It's the grains. If it's a plant-based protein that has a lot of grains in it, this is where I take the insulin resistant conversation. So plant-based, not bad, right? We need especially when we're talking about liver and gallbladder and bile and function. And we want, one of the tips is to eat more greens, like dandelion greens and arugula, whatever, to create more bile. So the plant conversation isn't the problem. It's if it's connected with a lot of grains, which it usually is. That's where my head went. So you would have to tell me if the ingredients have a lot of grains in it. And then I do teach grain free. for insulin resistance. Patty says she's going out to dinner for your birthday. You went out to dinner for your 51st anniversary. Patty, that is amazing. Just before Thanksgiving, and you did good. Everybody just like give Patty a hand. I'm so proud of you. And you know what? It doesn't have to always be perfect. And I understand that. It doesn't. Listen, if we would just like begin to stop like half of this bad stuff that we're doing, we'd go in a better direction. But you know what? That is tied to a memory, Patty. And so what you should be, in my opinion, proud of is that you didn't allow yourself to sabotage because it was such an important day, and that you elevated that in your thought process. So therefore, you gave yourself permission to then feel like trash. You didn't do that. And it didn't have to be perfect for you to be proud of yourself. You should be proud of yourself anyway. But the point being that it's like, that's amazing. I mean, it's really good when you get to that point where you're like, wow, look at that. Like, I went out to dinner for my birthday. I went out to dinner for my 51st anniversary, which is a really big deal. And I did it just before Thanksgiving and I did well. And you could have so easily gone, well, I'm going to mess up on Thanksgiving anyway. I might as well just dive in now. That would have been me, right? I might as well just like give it all up right now, like throw in the towel for December. So I'm really proud of you for that. Joan says, hooray, Patty. I love it. It's a big deal, you guys. This whole mindset piece is actually one of the bigger pieces. So anyway, all right, let me go back to where I was. Hold on. Did I lose my spot? Hold on. Uno momento, por favor. I can't find my spot. Hold on. I messed up my spot. Here we go. All right, here we go. So you're at a red light. That means that your body is storing more fat. You're never fully transitioning into fat burning. You feel heavy and inflamed after meals, and you are craving carbs because your fats are not being absorbed. Now, the yellow light phase, let's talk about that. The yellow light phase is confusion in the body. Okay. So if your gallbladder is not signaling clearly, so you've either lost it or it's not signaling clearly, your body gets stuck in a metabolic yellow light, not burning fat, not absorbing nutrients, and you always feel in between. This is a really common conversation. That's why when I talk about like the total body reset, I think I ate my, I actually ate my orange pixie stick. So I didn't have it here ready for you. Anyway, it's a big conversation because insulin resistance creates leaky gut. And then when you're not absorbing your nutrients, this is why we talk about the gut primer all the time. Every day I talk about the gut primer, because if you can support the healing and the sealing of your gut and start absorbing your nutrients, you will change the way that your appetite works, the way that your cravings are. You'll start to like fill up with nutrition and your body will respond to nutrition. Okay. So if your gallbladder is not signaling clearly or you've lost it, your body gets stuck at a metabolic yellow light, not burning fat, not absorbing nutrients, and always feeling in between. This is where, like for women, we can feel super bloated. We can have like a lot of brain fog. Our energy is super unpredictable and kind of all over the place. We have random cravings. We have stalled fat loss. And you know what? They're not malfunctioning. Your body's not malfunctioning. You're just stuck at a yellow light that your body can't really quite interpret. And so you're just kind of like, you're in that limbo piece, right? But when your insulin never gets the green light to turn off, insulin depends on your bile. This is why when I talk about insulin resistance and insulin being the trunk of the tree, and I say everything else comes off of the trunk of the tree. So literally everything else, when you want to talk about high BP, you want to talk about PCOS, fatty liver, you're exhausted, you're not sleeping at night, you're like, everything is connected to insulin resistance. But the whole thing is all connected inside of your internal system. That's why we target the liver, the gut, and insulin, liver, gut, insulin, when we talk supplementation, because you're getting that system back up and running again so it can give you a different result. Okay. So insulin depends on bile. Bile tells the liver, we are digesting fats. You can clear insulin now. We're going to digest fats, clear the insulin, which is a really good thing, right? If bile doesn't show up, insulin never gets that message. So it stays on. So your insulin is high, even when you're eating healthy. This is the missing conversation in the wellness world, I think. This is one of the missing conversations. People talk about GLP-1, and rightfully so. It's a hormone. Your gut creates it naturally. And you do want to talk about GLP-1 because you want your body to produce more of it. You don't necessarily always have to get a shot. You can get your body to do more of it. People talk about, carb cravings. We've talked about that before, but nobody is usually talking about the bile as the signal that lets insulin relax. So what do we do about it? Right? Women actually don't just experience symptoms, they experience like identity shifts. And what I mean by that is when your body is stuck at a metabolic red light, everything feels harder than it should. You start blaming your willpower. You start fearing food. You start shrinking yourself in photos. You stop trusting your body altogether. Like you just are at that red light and you're just like, I just want to freaking give up. That's what that can feel like. This connects so much to how you feel and not just what you know. And so now we start running by our feelings and now we're just like, I need a whole new wardrobe. I need like all of those things, right? But you can actually turn the green light back on again. I promise you can. When you support bile flow, you flip your metabolism back to green. This is super important. Insulin will calm down, insulin can calm down. Digestion can begin to smooth out. Your cravings start to quiet down. This is what your body will do on its own if you just will support your system. Your cravings will quiet because it's not a character flaw that you have cravings. Okay? It's a body. Sometimes it's the emotional trigger. I get that. But when it's like that body craving, that's what that is. Your belly bloat drops. Who doesn't want that? And your body finally feels like it's working again. So it's not detox. It's not clean eating. You're just helping that traffic light function again. You're just getting your body to produce for you a different result than what it's been producing. It's already producing a result for you. Every single day, your body produces a result for you. Sometimes it's producing exhaustion. Sometimes it's producing brain fog, bloating, belly fat that just seems like it's just increasing and increasing. It's producing something, some constipation, indigestion. What's it producing for you? Let's flip the switch and get it to produce a completely different set of results. Okay. That's what we want to do. So that's why I talk so much about targeted supplementation. Marilyn says, good job, Patty. You guys are so good. And I talk about it because if you will just gravitate towards the thought process, you don't have to understand it all right now. This is why we do the free challenge every single month in the group, so that you can have an opportunity to, you just allow your brain to understand this process a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time, a little bit at a time. And pretty soon you wake up and it's 6 months later and you're like, okay, I'm really kind of settling into this understanding, because you've been so indoctrinated one way. And now you're kind of having to re-indoctrinate yourself into a different way. Patty says, yes, I was ready to just give up. Hold on, I got to move so I can read it, so I can see it big enough. Until I accidentally, I'm going to say it wasn't accidental, Patty, but okay. I'm just kidding. Accidentally saw your video late one night. My life has already changed because I felt right about what you had to say, and also knowing that I was insulin resistant. That's totally awesome. Thanks for sharing that, Patty. I appreciate that. I'm just telling you, stop being so mean girl to yourself. Let's just get the biologics figured out. And then you can move forward and stop shaming yourself. And then when you rise up with confidence in what you're doing, even if it stalls out, even if it goes slower than you wanted, Patty, right? It's okay. Let your body heal. Let your body One of the things that I repeat from one of the doctors when we do the 5-day challenge, you cannot heal a body in shame. And so you know what? You might be able to change out your foods faster than you can change your own mental state and your own shaming of yourself. So let things catch up. Okay? Be nice to yourself. Be kind. And don't require your body to deliver results for you in a short period of time if it needs longer. It's okay. It's okay. Susan says, Patty, I was the same way. Ready to give up. Well, then we're just going to call everybody who's ready to give up. Come on and watch our videos. Come on. Come on. Join the community because you actually can. You can actually decide right now that December will be completely different for you, even if it's always been a train wreck in the past. It doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to start. So there are a lot of you that I'm working with right now in the background talking about getting the total body reset before the challenge next week, talking about getting the total body reset and like getting your life going. So as a new customer, you may or may not know, and be a registered customer so that you can get everything. Don't check out as a guest. Be a registered customer so you can get free shipping and you can start getting cash off your orders. Okay. And this is what that looks like. When you purchase 150 or more 3 months in a row, you automatically all year long, not just as a Christmas bonus, you'll get $75 off of your third order. Okay. So you'll get to cash in and get paid back for your wellness journey. During this season, when you do December, in January, no matter when you're getting that extra $75, you're going to get an extra $50 bonus in January off your order. This is the best time, not just because next month is January and everybody decides that they're going to go to the gym 12 times a week in January. None of that baloney. We don't do any of that BS here. Instead, what we do is we go, okay, so we're going to step into function. We're just going to step into function, knowing that it's not going to happen overnight, but we're going to take that first step and we're not going to require perfection, but we are going to learn how to navigate. Just like Patty, this was Patty's first season of navigating. Now, probably Patty, you did even better than you thought you did, going out to dinner with your 51st anniversary and your birthday all at the same time before Thanksgiving. That probably exceeded your expectations of yourself. I'm just going to assume that would have, for me, on my first season run of trying to get things straight, I would have been like, dang, girl, like you're nailing it before the holidays. Way to go. So just be proud of yourself. Then give yourself the pat on the back. Don't require somebody else to pay attention to your journey. If you don't want them to pay attention to what you are and are not eating and give them opportunity to bully you or pressure you or whatever into eating things that they get excited about watching you eat, then you just be proud of yourself. You say, okay, I'll take December. I know it won't be perfect, but what if a bunch of days in between the actual celebrations, I actually get a handle on my life and I start to feel better. And then I get to that celebration and all of a sudden my cravings are down and my appetite's under control. And then you're surprising yourself. Okay. And maybe the bloat isn't so bad. Patty says the carb blocker is her friend. Yes, I know. I did that for 3 to 4 years, you guys. You can get that off my site. It's carb blocker. It'll help to block 300 up to 500. Take 3 of them. And then it will block up to 500 calories of sugar from hitting your bloodstream when you eat. I did that for a long time. No shame in the game, you guys. Take your journey. Time is going to pass anyway. 5 years from now, you're going to have things dialed in. 3 years from now, probably 2 years. You guys crush my results. Terry did it right away. Terry took 8. She got out of the gate, lost 50 pounds in 8 months, and then kept it off for a year. Some of you will do that too. Okay. And then there's people like me. I'm a little bit of a turtle and it's okay. I just want to speak to those people too. Don't give up just because it's slower. Don't do that. Right. So anyway, all right. So the total body reset, I'm going to show you. And also too, if you wanted to, I had that webinar on the other supplements. You're probably already taking so many supplements from different places, like, the drugstore or, Walmart or Costco or wherever. And if you want to put things under one umbrella and have understanding as to what to take, what I would recommend for the insulin resistant person, I actually have a webinar on YouTube that you can ask me, here we go, for that link. It's not a public webinar, but you can always ask me for that webinar. You can always get into my DM or on Facebook. You can put webinar in the comments and I'll send that over to you. The first 10 minutes of the webinar is my story. If you don't, you're like, lady, I don't even know who you are. I'll tell you my story. I'll tell you my background. I'll tell you why I even do this. And then I'll go in and I'll cover, it's a 45-minute webinar. It'll cover 8 different supplements, like the vitamin D3, K2, but why? You want to know why, right? And so some people want to get in on doing that because of the customer campaign. So anyway, all right. Barb says she's down 3 to 4 pounds in the last few weeks. Way to go. Way to go, Barb. That is awesome. So awesome. Way to go. You should be proud of yourself. Like, take your journey. Take it. Love that so much. Okay, Linda, I do see that. I'll send you the link when I get off of here. Okay, so that's that webinar. But I always talk about the total body reset to start with, and then the webinar does not go over that. So that'll be a good match for you, Linda. So the total body reset, I started when I was a 2X in size. I was at the beginning of my 50s. I had spent my entire life just eating whatever I wanted as an Italian girl. And I had already been gestational diabetic with my first baby 30 years prior. So I should have paid attention and I did not. So not knowing anything that I teach you guys, I knew none of this stuff. I've studied like, Maria Emmerich stuff and Ken Berry and all the good doctors and stuff like that. But I didn't know anything. I didn't even supplement, but this is where I started. I started with these 3. This is half of the total body reset. This is how simple this is. Half. So there's a capsule and 2 tablets. And if you can't get your insulin to come down, you can't burn fat. And if you can't get your liver to function, you can't burn fat. So insulin, liver, metabolism. There's also a component in here that will help your sugars. So that's why people are like, oh, wow, like my A1C is coming down and I'm losing weight. Yes, because they go together. Okay, that's half of the total body reset. Then the other 3 pieces are powders. The first powder I take in a little bit of cold water out of my fridge. I froth it up and I take it like a wellness shot every single morning. And this is 6 different blends. Smells like green tea, turmeric, like ginger, smells very fresh. These are already fermented greens. So this entire conversation about creating more bile, moving your impacted waste, ditching the bloating, bringing down the inflammation, absorbing the nutrients, healing and sealing your gut. That's this. That's this, with the 6 blends. It's literally called a gastrointestinal primer. Off of organic farms, so good for you. And this is how I have people getting off of things like Omeprazole and IBS meds. I have somebody with a short gut syndrome who was having diarrhea all the time for like years. People with constipation and like relying on those over-the-counter helpers for constipation. Okay, so that's number 4 of the total body reset. Number 5 is the probiotic because you need to repopulate your bacteria, your good bacteria. These are 5 live strains. I put them on my tongue just like that every single morning. Okay, don't take this with coffee. No coffee because that will kill them because these are alive. Okay, and then the last one is the orange pixie stick. And this is probably, in my opinion, this is one of the greatest launches that this comes out of a sports nutrition line. Like this is a product thought process that I wanted in the 80s. Like if they could just come out with something that would help you burn your own fat. There you go. So it's a clinical dose of an extract. It's meant to change your BMI. It's literally meant to target your visceral fat. Visceral fat is laid down around your organs from insulin resistance. When you have a high belly, that's cortisol. When you have that low pouch, that's insulin. And it's insulin just storing fat. And that fat is dangerous. It emits hormones, which messes up your hormone balance. This is why you're having such a hard time losing weight. And it's also emitting inflammation and you feel like you're just on a hamster wheel. So target the visceral fat. That's when then you literally get to, I always tell you guys to measure. Where's my measuring? Here it is. There was a time when I started talking about the total body reset, and I would send these out to you guys. Get yourself a measuring tape like this and measure right underneath your bust, measure your waist and measure your hips. Write it down on a little piece of paper or a little 3x5 card and put it in your bathroom drawer. When you're taking the total body reset, take this for 90 days, every single day. It doesn't matter the time of day. It's not caffeinated or anything weird like that. There's no jittery nothing. It just tastes like orange candy pixie stick, and do that every single day. And then while you're taking the total body reset, then for, some of you do it continually, like for a year, to really change your meds. You want to get off of meds. You want to have less doctor appointment, all the things. This is how an MRI went from bad fatty liver to mild with one of you. So you're doing this for a full year. Let's just pretend, right? Do this 90 days on, 30 days off. 90 days on, 30 days off. 90 days on, 30 days off. But the reason why is because it's a thermogenic, literally the truest definition of fat burner. Not some hype, not some, whatever. Literally, it's targeting your visceral fat. And so don't let your body get used to it. And then you'll miss it for 30 days. I always miss it when I take 30 days off. So, hold on. Thank you, Coach Kirsten, for the red light, green light info. Joan, a much better understanding. I'm grateful for you in your biology class. It's really funny, Joan. I got a D in biology. I did so bad. I was not good at, I just did so bad. And probably a part of it was I did not want to dissect that darn frog. But anyway, you're so sweet, Joan. Thank you. Inhale, not been at this weight since one day in April. Say that again, Barb. Tell me what you mean by that. I think I missed. Oh, see, they did it. Some days I get by with stuff on the tickety talk, and some days I don't. I'm making up for it now. I know, Joan, right? This should tell you can become whoever you want to be. You can become whoever you want to be. Linda, good to see you. How are you? So good to see you. Very, very cool. Okay, so that is the total body reset. I'm going to show you where you can find it right now. If you're like, listen, lady, I don't want to even talk to you in your messages. I just want to know what you're talking about. I'll show you where to find it. And then you can always message me. Like, that is what I do, is I'm here for you guys. I'm going to walk journey with you. That's literally my whole point of doing the 5-day challenge for the last 2.5 years, is me saying, I will actually walk journey with you. This is not like you just, you purchase a bunch of stuff and then you have nobody to help you do this. No, I want to see your testimony. I want to tell everybody else about your testimony. It's very important. Oh, you haven't, Barb, I get it. I have not been down this low since one day only in April. Yeah. Good for you. Good for you, Barb. Now, Barb is from Canada. So in Canada, you do need my Canadian link if you want to purchase anything. And in Canada, you can get the trio. You can't get the primer, or the primer or the orange pixie stick hasn't launched yet. So here's the trio that you can get in Canada. Okay, just to let you know. And you need to have my Canadian link for that. But anyway, so my site is my first last name.com, kirstenliebelt.com. It's right here on Facebook and YouTube. And when you pull it up, it shows my picture just like this. And then when you do one little tiny scroll, you'll see the total body reset right here, the 4th button. That's the total body reset. Okay. I'm actually thinking about doing a little bit of a redesign on this. So it may not be the same next week. We'll see. But anyway, so the total body reset is right there for you. But then you can also get other things on here. You can get, there's some Amazon finds for just things that I'm recommending, like sugar-free electrolytes or sweeteners or whatever. And then what is that one? Oh, that's Thrive Market. You can get 40% off your first order buying organic. But anyway, blah, blah, blah. Go all the way, do one more scroll all the way down right here. There's 3 free resources right there for you. Free protein guide, free sugar-free chocolate pudding, and free egg white bread recipe. These are things that I teach all the time so that you can get your food under control and actually enjoy the food that you're eating and still be a foodie. Like that's important to me because I'm Italian. So I needed to have things that I really, really liked. And that's one of the things that I do. So anyway, there we go. So that's what we've got going for today. That's how you can get into my messenger. You can get into my Instagram DMs. You can text me. There's a phone number at the bottom of that site. There are many ways to like contact me and say, listen, I didn't fully understand the total body reset, or this is what I've got going on. Do I need to customize something? Or can you send me a cart just for this? That's the conversations that I have with you guys literally all day, every day, so that we can get you up and running. You do not have to wait until January and then feel completely defeated. You can start right now. And then by the time we hit the challenge in January, and we've got the one in December starting next Monday, when we hit the January challenge, you are already running. You are already in motion and you are already feeling better. But don't forget about all of the like money back that you can be getting. And if that's confusing, make sure you ask me. So many of you are doing this and literally cashing out and getting paid back. And in Canada, it's a little different. Instead of 153 months in a row to get 75 off, Canada is 200 a month. And then you get 100 off that third month. And this is not a Christmas special. That's all year long. So many of you have gone every quarter, you're getting either 75 or 100 back. That's pretty nice. Okay. Because nobody else is going to do that for you. So anyway, all right. Have the best day ever on the face of the planet. Like I always remind you to do. And if you need something, let me know. And I'll be back here tomorrow at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. And we'll have another conversation that will connect with your insulin resistance and how you can like lose weight and get off meds. How does that sound? So, all right. Have a really good day, you guys. I can see like comments coming in. So I'm going to go talk to people. See you later. Bye. Have a great weekend, Marilyn. She says, have a great Wednesday running into Trader Joe's. This is a wonderful program. Thank you, Marilyn. Enjoy Trader Joe's. Love me a good Trader Joe's. Bye.